All right, welcome to episode 6 of the High Point Podcast. I am your host at Rick High Jr. And then we have, of course, my co-host at JW Tynes. Jacob, how are we doing today?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Depending on how you look at it, it's like the quarter point of the season for fantasy, at least.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if, I don't, I don't factor in, what's it called? Like postseason anyways when I talk about like the midpoint or whatever. It's all
sure.
regular season. So yeah, about 4 games in. So um, been pretty exciting so far. I'll say. Um, on today's episode, we're going to be cover for the big part of the episode. We're covering your team's GOAT. We're going to go through each team, and we're going to Jacob and I are both going to say who we think the greatest of all time player is for your team. Feel free to agree, disagree, whatever. Put it in the comments. We'll go ahead and react to all of that. But before that, why don't we get straight into the warm up? I got some notes here. Did you want to start off with anything, or do you want me to just jump right into it?
You go for it. I want to see what games you were interested in talking about, and then I'll give you mine.
Nice. So first off, the Thursday night matchup, Seahawks and Cardinals. I liked it. That was fun. That was a fun game to watch. I was somewhat disappointed in the on-field look of the Cardinals uniforms. I know we talked about the rivalry uniforms.
Yeah.
I was anticipating those so much. I thought the helmet looked amazing, but
The flex did not come through on TV.
mhm.
I doubt it came through anywhere unless you were pretty close up. So yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
it just looked dirty.
yeah, it muddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Small
The
comment about that.
Seahawks unis were cool. I don't know that they were like particularly notable like on TV, but
No. Those are just their regular unis. I
oh, they
think that
were?
yeah. They unveil because remember theirs are like a gray color. So I guess whenever they
Oh, you're
play,
right.
they're either gonna play. I would assume somebody in division, so it's gonna be either the
I think it's kind of
Rams or
stupid
the
to give one team special uniforms and not the other. If you're going to do a rivalry-based
yeah.
uniform, like, come on.
I agree. But I think
That seems silly.
yeah, but I think with this one it had to be because they both had light colored uniforms. With the Seahawks being light gray, Cardinals being
That's
an
true.
off white. But you're right though, that doesn't make sense because the Rams have a black uniform and the Niners have a black uniform. Rams might be like a super dark blue. I don't remember.
Like, how hard is
But
it to tell Nike, like, design, like, take the schedule into account, design
yeah,
these uniforms so that they're, you got dark and white colored. And
yeah,
then you can even tell them, like, do alternate versions
yeah. I mean, that's basically like what Color Rush
because all
was,
these
right?
teams play each other twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So,
yeah,
especially if you're doing it in division, it's a really simple setup to do it to where both teams have their like unique jerseys. So I thought that was a
right.
little odd, but it's like to your point though, Seahawks classic away uniform, it's good looking. Like,
It's clean for sure.
I feel like the Seahawks whenever they did their their rebrand in the early 2000s or so,
Yeah,
that look, I think maybe it's just because that's nostalgic for us because that's when we were in middle school, high school. It's just a clean look, you know.
it is.
Um, but
I do miss a little bit more of their green,
mhm.
but
um,
I mean, it's nice.
and speaking of, I can't remember if it's this week or maybe next week. The Seahawks are playing the Buccaneers, and they're both wearing their throwbacks. So
There
the
you go.
Seahawks are going to be rocking the like green, blue, silver,
The
from
Bucks
the
have those
from the
cream.
'90s, and the Bucks are rocking the
Those
creams.
those are clean.
Yeah. So
Yeah, those are nice.
I'm excited for that when that one happens. I think that might be this week, but I don't know for sure. Baltimore and Kansas City, kind of underwhelming. A lot of that
Yeah.
having to do with Lamar Jackson's injury. What were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to watch the full game, unfortunately, but the general consensus seems to be that the Ravens championship window is basically closed at this point. Um,
That's funny.
you know,
That's funny you said that. That's the one note that I have here for the
and I
Ravens
would and I
specifically.
would listen. I'm never one to count Lamar Jackson out. If there's any quarterback in the league that can elevate their team and bring. I mean, I think he's, MVP caliber guy.
Hmm.
So I'm never going to count them out. I think Harbaugh's a great coach. I'm not really sure what's happening with the team. I'm not sure what's happening with Derrick Henry and the fumble problems.
Hmm.
It's a weird fall from grace. They've still got time to make some things up, but it's going to be tough. I'm sure they have a pretty tough schedule if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and to start, they've had a tough schedule. I would say
Yep.
probably one of the top five toughest schedules, easy, right? A big part of that is just their injury problem. It's not just Lamar; they have injuries all over the field,
Yeah.
both sides of the ball. It's unfortunate, right? But it's funny you mentioned that their championship window might be closing, not just for this year, but like moving forward, right? One of the podcasters slash YouTubers that I really like, his name's Pee Wee the Plug, Pierre Pierre Andreessen. He was talking about he covers NBA, and he was talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards, their championship window closing, because at some point you got to pay all these guys. Everybody else
Right.
around you is getting stronger. You have your star, and it's like it's hard to kind of keep up with it whenever
It's
you
it's
know.
a balancing act. You have to have your playmakers on both sides of the ball.
Mhm.
You have to get them as cheap as you can for as long as you can, while also having good players at other positions so you had depth.
Mhm.
You can't just have a team where there's one good player on each side of the ball, right? We've
Mhm.
seen that happen many times and it just doesn't work. It's a team game more than anything.
Yeah.
And you've got to make that all happen at the same time. So it's like the stars have to align.
Yeah.
Good example is like the whole Dak and Zeke thing with the Cowboys. That kind of felt like our sort of championship window. Now,
Mhm.
obviously, we had a couple shots at it and just couldn't get it done in the playoffs for a number of reasons. But after Dak and Zeke were off that rookie contract, the rest was just, it's been a downward spiral since then. Now we're pretty. I don't know. I don't know that we're as low as we've been for a while, but I likened it to the Cowboys. Like it's just it seems like Derrick Henry is past his prime at this point,
Mhm.
and I don't want to say that, but it just appears to be the case. Like I said, I'm never going to count Lamar out, but I don't know who else on that team really picks things up. Like Zay Flowers is talented. They've got what DeAndre
They have
Hopkins.
Hopkins. Yep.
Homecoming game against the Texans for y'all this week. I
Yeah.
mean, Texans have quietly had one of the best defenses in the league.
Mhm.
So they're going to be playing a hobbled Ravens with it, ironically, Cooper Rush as their backup quarterback. So Cowboy ties there. I know what he is, and he's a guy that's not going to lose you the game, but he also can't win you the game by himself. He needs some playmakers, and so Derrick Henry's going to have to step up. Zay Flowers this week. I mean, because you guys are good and
Mhm.
better than your record shows. So I think y'all are going to smack the Ravens in the mouth this week.
Yeah. Not to play spoiler, but that's actually one of my
Pick.
one of my picks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, and like I said, with what I was talking about earlier with Pee Wee the Plug, he was saying, with just relating it to championship windows closing, and I think it's so it's different. Obviously, I think NFL those windows stay open longer because it's not five guys, right? You don't have five guys like you would in an NBA in the NBA, right?
But the
And then
contract lengths tend to be the same. So I
true,
would I would argue it's easier to kind of line that up in the NBA.
really,
But
you think it'd be easier to keep that championship window open? I guess you can be more
in the
versatile.
NBA,
Yeah.
yes, I think it's much easier to sustain a roster of superstar players, especially if you get them early before they really break out on
Hmm.
an early. If you get one of them on an early contract, you draft a superstar like that's two of your five guys right there. The other three don't have to be phenomenal. Yeah,
True.
you need depth, but with a 53 man roster, I mean, you got to have no weaknesses to get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, in the modern NFL,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Um, we'll move on for that topic. I
yeah,
think
for sure, for
that's one
sure.
that
We
we
could
could
talk all day
definitely
about that.
exactly. Tell me about this 40-40 tie in Dallas.
Oh man, that was fun.
Yeah.
Nobody likes a tie, so that kind of sucks for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So notes I have here: scoregami, which means that game has never had a 40-40 score line
Ever.
before,
Yep.
ever. I think it's like the second highest scoring tie
Tie.
game of all
Mm-hmm.
time. I don't know what the other one is. So my main point here is the overtime rules suck.
Yeah.
And we need to do a segment on this for a future podcast where we propose realistic alternatives. Um, yeah, I've got some notes about that there. It's funny, George Pickens, there was an article that came out either today or yesterday that said he didn't even know you could tie in the NFL. And
That's
you can't in the postseason, in the
yeah.
playoffs, you can't. But yeah, it's just funny that he didn't even know that.
Classic George
Um,
Pickens.
Honestly, man, Green Bay like probably should have lost that game
Yes.
with that fiasco of time management that they did at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Really, just having what was it like 1 or 2 seconds left to get their kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I've been looking online at Reddit and just hearing from Green Bay fans that like Jordan Love kind of might be like what we were talking about a few episodes ago. Like he's a great football player.
Mm-hmm.
He processes like football information great. But honestly, he's just kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're getting down to like the time management sort of things, like that might be one of those things where if he, be one of his weaknesses, I guess. But I think Green Bay deserved to lose that game. They got lucky. I'm proud of the Cowboys for putting up a fight. It was fun. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting to have a tie on your record. What the implications of that will be at the end of the season and for our division, who knows? But the last note I have here is obviously Brandon Aubrey is the best Cowboy,
Yep.
current Cowboy. That's no doubt. But I think actually right now, Pickens and Jalen Tolbert are both vying for the second best spot.
Nice. Yeah. I'll
So we'll
say
see how that plays out. Now
I'm
that Jalen Tolbert is actually getting an actual route tree, he's being used
mm,
somewhat, sparingly, but as a receiver, I think that's a great thing that Brian Schottenheimer's been able to actually use him because Mike McCarthy was never able to.
yeah. I am so happy that Pickens is getting his due. I said, at the beginning of the season, it's like you guys have two wide receiver ones. And
Yep.
sure enough, you take CeeDee Lamb out of the conversation here, and George Pickens is your number one, and it's not close. He's fantastic. Um,
Yep.
been great. Yeah.
And I got to give Dak his flowers too. He
Oh yeah.
played great that game.
No, yeah, and I think Dak, uninjured season is a top five quarterback. Like
Yeah.
look at every season where he hasn't had to deal with injuries. He's been top five, maybe like top seven every single year. He's fantastic. So shout out to him. Both offenses, both quarterbacks looked stellar outside of some mental mistakes down the stretch from Jordan Love. You mentioned that earlier of being like, cerebrally, that's a word. It might be a word.
I like it.
He's great, but he makes some boneheaded plays. Okay,
Right.
so take away the athleticism, like the crazy freak athleticism from Russell Westbrook, and that's what you get, right? Somebody who's
Pretty much.
very smart and like,
Yeah.
knows how to process the game, but then he'll be like, I'll just chuck up a three. Who
He just
cares?
has his spaz moments where it's like, Westbrook, no.
Yeah, yeah. So I think maybe there's a little bit of that playing in for Jordan Love. Moving on, Giants stunner over the Chargers. We had our Jackson Dart debut. White boy summer continues with him and Cam.
Yes.
Metrics wise, Dart wasn't actually that great, but he showed a lot of poise down the stretch and won him the game.
Dude, that first touchdown run, I don't know that you like. I guess as a quarterback, you may like prefer your first touchdown to be a nice pass, but that was a sick run touchdown.
Yeah,
Right up the middle through multiple defenders. He looks fast, dude. I
yeah,
didn't know he had wheels like that. Yeah, and his celebration, obviously, top tier.
that was
White
good.
boy summer.
That was
So
good, man. He was killing it. I saw, I think it was Eli Manning that quote tweeted that and said, "Yeah, they teach us that celebration at Ole Miss," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." To
Okay, Eli.
envision Eli
Yeah,
doing
whatever.
that is hilarious. Rams and Colts was very close with the Rams getting the win. It really gives me the idea that the Colts aren't a flash in the pan. It's not fool's gold. They are good because they beat the wheels off of every single person they've played, and their one loss against the Rams was very close. Yeah, I'm as a Texans fan, I'm worried because they are in our division and the Jags are in our
Yep.
division, who are also not fool's gold. So, you know, kind of tough sledding for me for the Texans, but yeah, Rams and Colts. Any commentary?
No, I didn't have any notes on that game,
Hmm.
but I agree with you. The Colts are not a flash in the pan. They seem to be the real deal. If I'm a Texans fan, I'd be sweating a little bit, but
Hmm.
I'm interested to see how your division plays out later in the season.
Yeah.
When do you guys play the Colts?
Uh, I don't have it up in front of me. I would assume
I'll
we
find it.
play them in the next 2 weeks or so. They usually got them. I know we play them. I think we play them the last week of the season. So hopefully, maybe that one will provide some fireworks. While you're looking that up, uh,
Late November, dude. You guys don't play until November 30th. And then
really,
again, week 18,
January
January 4th.
4th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, both games late. Hopefully, we can get something rolling by then and get some
Yeah.
momentum,
Yeah.
and go in there and win versus just letting them, you know, have the momentum that they have currently and just
You guys need
steamroll
to get
us.
healthy. So I think more time the better there.
Yep. Speaking of getting healthy, prayers up to Tyreek Hill. What a leg injury. That was brutal. Did you see it? Did you go back and watch it?
Yeah, I always watch them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty morbid like that.
Yeah. Same.
Um,
It's like it. I know. I'm like I'm gonna watch this and like I diagnose it because I majored in exercise sports science. So I look at it from that, like, oh, that's interesting how this happened. But then I take a second to realize what I'm doing and being like, okay, this is kind of weird. Like I shouldn't be looking
yeah,
at an injury like this from every single angle. But yeah, his leg wasn't supposed to go that way. That was
no.
brutal. But
I think that one kind of overshadowed Malik Neighbors, who also had a torn
torn
ACL this
ACL.
week.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not as severe, but stepping back to Chargers, Giants. Seems like the Chargers may have gotten bit by the injury bug a little bit. Like they've already had a pretty depleted O line, but their second year O lineman Joe Alt, he's been kind of a fan favorite. He had an high ankle sprain, so I think that Giants victory may have been a little bit partially because of that, but. Um, I think Dable's job is kind of hanging on by Jackson Dart at this point since
Hmm.
he won't have neighbors. Uh, anyway, yeah.
Yeah. You know who they should bring in? They should bring in Odell Beckham Jr.
What
He's
is
trying
he
to
up
make a
to these
roster.
days?
He's trying to make a
Is
roster.
he?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think, at the beginning of the season, they reported that he was retiring, but I don't know, man. And then he came out and said, no, I'm not. So I don't know,
That's
man.
like the Josh Gordon thing,
Yeah.
where everybody was like, Josh Gordon's coming back for like 4 or 5, 6 years.
And every
And
year.
he came back for a couple games, but never
Hmm.
really became anything.
Yeah.
And I
That's,
feel like after Odell's stint with New York, he just kind of was never the same.
no, it wasn't. And I mean, to be fair, that he had an ACL injury that kind of
Yeah.
killed his, career as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. Bengals. I think they should tank. Hey Joe, rest up, rehab the injury, come back when you're ready. Like I'm sorry, they've just been so bad. There's no way they're going to be able to hold on to anything. And if
Good
Joe,
championship window.
I mean, look, I don't know. I haven't even looked at the contracts, but like with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown to an extent, I'm sure they could find a decent running back outside of him. But like, I don't know what all of theirs look like together. Obviously, Trey Hendrickson on the defensive side is only there for a year. They restructured,
Hmm.
so I don't know if he stays put. But yeah, lot of lot of question marks, and obviously Joe Burrow being a consistently injured quarterback is not going to be great either. Um,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like, was the champ outside of that weird, COVID run where they played the Rams in the Super Bowl? Was there a championship window ever open?
No,
You know,
they didn't make playoffs last year.
no. And in the last few years, they've had abysmal records. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be their year, right? Like they got all their pieces, they were on fire offensively last year, but
mhm,
everything else kind of sucked. And it was supposed to be a change. Like they were supposed to tighten up their weaknesses and plug up the holes, so they had a shot, but it doesn't look like that's the case.
no.
And I don't know that it's going to happen for them.
Yep. Chicago and the Raiders. Number one, or no, not number one pick. He wasn't the number one pick. Ashton Genty,
Number one running back.
number one running back off the board for sure. He went back to his Michael Myers stance, as people call it, and immediately looked better. Like fantastic. Couldn't say enough about. I mean, look, it's Chicago, whatever. But still, I mean, he was clearly struggling to kind of get that momentum going out of the stance that they had him in previously, and now he's just doing that weird stare down like he was doing in college, and
Yeah,
three
man.
touchdowns and a bunch of carries, bunch of yardage.
It's weird, but I do think running backs have to get into sort of a rhythm and get used to the timing of the game as a rookie
Hmm.
like that, being put, behind it's a decent Raiders O line. But part of me, like my football brain wants to be like, is there some advantage he gets to, standing up tall?
Hmm.
Maybe he's seeing things with the safeties moving or the linebackers
Yeah,
shifting.
being able to read
Maybe
the
there's some of
defense.
that gives them some advantage. Like maybe it is a cerebral thing,
Hmm.
but at the same time, it's probably I don't know. I
It,
don't know
it
if
could
there
just
is that, but it is badass.
Yeah, honestly, it could just be habit, right? Like, and sometimes people try to fix it. Hey, you've been doing this all your career. Um, Try it this way. This is the way you're supposed to, and it screws them up, right? There's a reason why Tyrese Halliburton's shot looks so funky, right? And nobody tries to fix it because it's a good shot, right? But
Sure,
it's kind of I think it's one of those things more than anything. It's like, let him line up back there, let him feel comfortable. You put him down in a
I agree.
three-point stance, or you put him with his hands on his shoulder or thigh pads. It just doesn't feel like him. Meanwhile, you get him back there looking like a serial killer, and he'll bust off a 50-yard run. So let him do
I
it.
wonder
You know?
if the coaches kind of said, initially in the first couple of games, they said, "All right, we want you to run the system. We want you to hit this gap on this play, etc.
Yeah.
We want you to do very specific things." And maybe this last game, they told him, "Hey, open it up a little bit, make your reads, do what you feel is right." Which is really what they should be
Hmm.
doing. That's what they drafted him to do. That's one of his biggest strength is
Yeah.
being able to read the gaps. So it's exciting. Hopefully, he has found his groove, and we can see what he's got for the rest of the season.
Yeah, man. Last warm up note that I have here before we jump into the GOAT conversation. And this just came out as we're recording today on the 1st. Joe Flacco is being benched for Dylan Gabriel.
You know it was going to happen at some point.
Yep. Do you think we see Shadur as well?
Um,
Like
like I said
later on in the season?
originally, I think eventually at some point in the season, yeah, probably.
Hmm.
But also, it's pretty hilarious that Lamar Jackson gets injured, and also Shadur Sanders refused to go to Baltimore because he would want to be a backup behind Lamar,
Yeah.
and now he would actually be starting
Yeah.
for a couple of games conceivably. So, haha.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of. It's one of those things. It's like obviously hindsight 2020. If he knew that this was going to happen, yeah, sure, he'd probably be like, yeah, let me go to Baltimore. I'll wait it out. But
His mentality should have been, I need to go learn from one of the best.
yeah, and
Being a
honestly,
backup to Lamar Jackson is like that's one of the best jobs you could have, I feel like.
especially
Instead, you
with
go
their
to the
play style,
Browns.
yeah, especially with their play style being fairly similar. I think Shadur stays in the pocket and throws a little bit more, and Lamar's more prone to, busting out a run because he's a lot, shiftier. But, for the most part, though, Shadur can still run as well. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, that would have been the perfect kind of, person to sit behind. Worst case, you learn a ton, you have fresh legs, and they trade you somewhere else where you can be a starter, right? Um, and I mean,
Just point blank, I don't see how anybody like turns down a team that's calling you on draft night, regardless of what pick you are.
mhm,
I don't see how you can have a head that big. Like, regardless of what you do in college, I'm sorry, but hundreds of guys do things in college football every year.
yep,
Okay. You don't really prove yourself until you get into the NFL. So he hasn't earned the right to be so high and mighty.
yeah,
And it sucks, but I'm kind of rooting for him to fail in Cleveland,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah,
I think he's an electric athlete. We'll see what happens. But because of his attitude, I
mhm,
think the general public pretty views him pretty unfavorably.
yeah. Maybe we'll see some character turnaround. We saw it with people like Jameis, people like
Pickens,
Baker,
Pickens is
Pickens.
behaving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That one's a little shorter term than the
I mean,
two I
yeah, we'll
mentioned, but
see.
yeah. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I like I've talked about it with you. I like Shador. He yeah, sure, he probably does have a little bit more of an attitude diva type problem.
Yeah.
But I think with NFL players, with any pro athletes, it comes with the territory sometimes. I think he can still be a good NFL caliber player. I think he needs to find the right situation and he needs to eat a nice slice of humble pie.
Yeah, man.
Take a deep breath
These
and
guys need to realize you're going to the top of the top of the top. Like everybody else you're going to be playing with was also in your position.
yeah. Oh,
And they,
and by the way, Shadur, you didn't do shit in college. Like it's not
right,
you weren't good in college,
right,
So it's not like you can walk in here and think, yeah, I'm a starter right away.
right,
I mean, confidence, great, sure, that's fantastic, but you still have to kind of toe that line between
right.
confidence and cockiness.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything you got, or should we jump into the GOAT conversation?
No, I think that's it. Let's jump into goats. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Some of these are going to be easy. Some of them, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I think especially some of the first ones. So we're going. What we're doing for audio and video listeners, we are going through each one of the franchises, and then we will both be giving who we think your team's GOAT is. So just as an example, first one up, we have the New England Patriots. I think this one's probably the easiest in the entire league.
Tom Brady,
Tom Brady. That's right. Yep.
B12. On
So
to the next one.
yeah, so that's how we're going to be doing it. Just going through each one. I'm sure there will be a lot where we agree. Some are going to be where we disagree, and we can have some dialogue around that. But yeah, first ones I've chunked them by division and by conference. So it should be pretty easy here. The next one we have is going to be the New York Jets. Who do you have?
Darrell Revis Island.
Ooh, nice pick. So I think it's funny that because I went Nick Mangold, which I know, O line doesn't get a lot
Old
of love.
school?
Yeah, no. He's modern era, but O line doesn't get a lot of love in these type of lists. So I thought, hey, with this poverty franchise, let's go ahead and give some love here. For me, Nick Mangold, and maybe this is just because I played a bunch of you know football. Like I played video games growing up, and whenever you'd like build out a team, Nick Mangold was always at the top for O line. Just fantastic player, and played his entire career with the Jets, which was a very long career. So that's why I put him here. Why'd you pick Revis?
Dude, I mean, he was undisputed top cornerback at his peak. Looking at it now, he played for the Jets from '07 to 12, so only 5 years there, and then had another stint for 1 to 2 seasons. But really, just Super Bowl champion in 2014 with the Patriots.
Mhm.
So he is that caliber of player. Four-team All-Pro, seven-time Pro Bowl, All-Decade team. Like the honors just go on and on. But that's the one guy that comes to mind for me when I think of the Jets is Darrelle Revis and his time there.
Mhm.
I guess the only other one that comes to mind really is Joe Namath,
Yeah, I was gonna say
but that's
neither
really just
is.
because quarterback and
Mhm.
he's on commercials and stuff.
I tried as hard as I could to not put a quarterback for. I mean, obviously,
A
it's
lot of them are quarterbacks.
right. It's the most talked about position. It's the most impactful position to
Yeah.
winning. Right. So, I think there are a lot of quarterbacks here, but whenever I could, I tried to make sure I didn't. Right. And my rationale around it was okay. This quarterback, if it's a quarterback, are they a top 10 quarterback all time? Then I'll put him in there, right? I maybe Namath is there. Maybe he's a little bit further down for me at
He's not
least.
top 10.
You don't think
He's
so?
not top 10. No.
So I feel comfortable not putting him here. But shout out to him.
I see one, two, three, four, five, six quarterbacks on my list alone that are better than Joe Namath.
Well, there you go. We'll move on to the next team. We have the Miami Dolphins. Do you have Dan Marino here?
I do have Dan Marino.
There we
This was
go.
kind of tough.
Really?
Yeah, I mean yeah. I don't have anybody else listed as honorable mention in my notes, but Dan Marino is the Dolphins guy when you think about it. I mean, especially like growing up as a '90s kid and watching Ace Ventura. Um,
Yeah.
I'm sure that contributed heavily to it, but it's got to be Dan Marino, even though he never won a Super Bowl. Just hell of a quarterback, probably the best quarterback to never win a Super Bowl, I think.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I think the maybe you could make a argument for like Jason Taylor, but no, for me it was Marino, and I didn't think there was too much argument there. Buffalo Bills. You have Jim Kelly,
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith. Tell me about Bruce
Yeah,
Smith.
I mean, I don't know a ton about Bruce Smith, but he is the undisputed like consensus Buffalo top player of all time from what I've seen.
Nice.
Let me look at his accolades here. Two-time Defensive Player of the Year, eight-time All-Pro, first team, three-time second All-Team, 11-time Pro Bowl, two-time forced fumbles leader,
Whew.
All-Decade 80s and 90s team, Buffalo Bill Wall of Fame. Um,
So he racked it up with the
he
awards.
was a key piece in their Super Bowl runs in the late 80s and early 90s, where they went to the Super Bowl, was it three times or four times, but didn't win any of them.
Hmm.
So that's got to be the guy. I mean, he was their defensive anchor for their best, most dominant era up until now, I think.
Hmm.
So it's got to be him.
Yeah, and I told you about what I was saying earlier with my rule about quarterbacks, and immediately broke it here with Jim Kelly. I don't think anybody says Jim Kelly's like a top 10, top 15, maybe even top 20 quarterback. But he was at the helm for those lost Super Bowl runs,
Yeah.
and he's just a big part of the team, right? Like I feel like if you ask the fans who their favorite player is, a lot of them say Jim Kelly because of his ties to the organization and kind of how he had his entire career, how all of that played out. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I don't know.
I
I guess
couldn't.
I don't have
Jim
a
Kelly's a good pick. I didn't even really consider that one, to be honest with you.
no. Fair enough. Next up, we have the AFC North. First team up is the Steelers.
Yeah, this one's probably going to be tough. What do you got?
So a lot of star power here, right? Like and they have, I think, total what, 6 Super Bowls? I think 6 or 7.
Yes.
I picked and you'll notice this with some of my picks. They're very much, hey, who was their best or most fun player when Rick was in middle school and high school.
I
So
was about to say,
for
I'm
me, I
not sure
have
you're taking all time into consideration here, but that's all right.
yeah. So well, some of them I'm like, look, I mean, whenever you do your research and some of the goats of your franchise were from like the 30s, I'm sorry, I can't. What am I going to do with that, right? So I try to have somewhat of a modern lens, but still, I pay my dues to the older
Don't tell me
guys.
Roethlisberger.
No, I don't like Roethlisberger. He can.
All right, who you got?
I got Troy Polamalu. I love Troy Polamalu.
Who doesn't love Troy Polamalu?
And I feel like his hair hanging down that Steelers jersey is iconic, So he's one of those players that like when I think Steelers, I think Troy Polamalu. So that's who I chose. Who you got?
That's a good one. I mean, I kind of thought this one was easy. As many good players as the Steelers have had over time,
Mm-hmm.
it's got to be Mean Joe Green.
Ooh, yeah.
Four-time Super Bowl champion. Let's see here. NFL Defensive Player of the Year two times, Defensive Rookie of the Year, five-time first team All Pro, three-time second team, 10 Pro Bowls, all decade team, 100th anniversary team, like all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Mean Joe Green, like even though he played before my football consciousness, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
He's the
that's my pick.
I feel so junior asking this because, I'm sure people would think that, oh, how do you not know? But he's the one from the commercials with like, I think it's like Coke or Pepsi or something, where he goes, "Hey kid, catch," and throws him the jersey, right? Isn't that Joe Green? Like
I thought
the
that was
OG.
Jerome Bettis.
No, like the OG version, I think was
Oh,
Joe
maybe.
Green. Um,
Let me see.
but while you're searching that up, yeah, man, the Steelers.
Yeah, it is Joe Green.
Cool.
Sorry.
No, I think Jerome Bettis remade it.
That's right. That's
Shortly
right.
after they won the Super Bowl.
You're
But
right. You're right.
but yeah, between Joe Green, Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, we didn't talk about Franco Harris.
Yeah.
And then yeah, sure, Roethlisberger, whatever. It kind of sucks as a human, so I don't really care.
Yeah,
But
let's just move on from him.
yeah, yeah. Next one up, we got the Ravens. Who do I have? I have Ray Lewis.
I also have Ray Lewis.
Yep.
It's not hard to argue this one. I mean, they've got several good, historically good players, including Ed Reed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of blanking on the others at the moment, but it's got to be Ray Lewis. I mean, the dude was an absolute monster.
Yeah, like just physically imposing monster. Absolutely. Ed Reed. If you want to make if you want to add in a offensive line here, you could say Jonathan Ogden, fantastic guy.
Absolutely.
Terrell Suggs, just because of
Oh, yeah.
longevity.
Long time, yeah.
Yeah, I think this one's probably the most impressive with how many good players that you could put up here, considering they've only been around since what, 96? They were one of the expansion franchises. So
That's true.
to have them only be around since 96 and have a laundry list of good players versus
It's
some
a
of the
it's a well-run franchise.
and then you have some of the teams that have been around since like 60s and 70s and earlier than that just don't have anybody good. So, speaking of, we got the Cleveland Browns. Who do you have here?
I got Jim Brown.
Jim Brown. Yep, me too.
Yeah, one of the most dominant running backs of his time. I mean,
Yeah, for me it was very much like again, who do you think of when you think of this franchise?
and it's easy. Jim Brown, the Browns. I mean, I know he's not their namesake, obviously, but
Might as well be, right?
might as well be.
Yeah. So that seems pretty easy especially when you're looking at the record books and the like each team has their Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor, whatever you want to call it. Bengals.
Jim Brown, hold on. Jim Brown was selected to a Pro Bowl and All Pro team every season he was in the league.
Damn. Okay, yeah, that seems easy. It is definitely Jim
Super
Brown.
impressive. Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Hey, you want to give some flowers to the big guys in the front? Then let's talk about Anthony Munoz, one of the top 5
Go for it.
O linemen of all time.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's fantastic.
I didn't
A
know if you
little
had
bit
his
before my
accolades.
football consciousness, honestly, but that seems to be the consensus here. I don't think anybody would argue with that. Do you have him as well?
No, I have Ken Anderson, and kind of a similar reason, right? As far as Cincinnati Bengals history and lore, I've I really kind of weighted the scales heavily if a player played their entire career with the franchise as well, because I think that's important when you talk about your team's GOAT, right? But yeah, both of those players popped up when doing my research, and I'll be the first to say that I don't know a ton about Bengals history.
They haven't really been successful. They haven't had
Hmm.
a ton of really good players, honestly. But Munoz is the guy that late '80s or throughout the '80s really
Hmm.
was the best guy on their team. I think.
Nice.
Let me see here.
And,
9-time All Pro, first team, 2-time second team All Pro, 11 Pro Bowls. Obviously,
nice.
never won a Super Bowl or anything like that,
Yep.
but he's considered one of the best O linemen of all time.
Sure, yeah. And I think this is what I was talking about earlier, where you have these franchises that have been around since the 60s that don't really have a ton of star power. The Bengals
Yeah,
are right there, right?
for sure.
So, I mean, hey, somebody, I don't even care who, it could be anybody, Jamar Chase, hey, just have a solid rest of your career. Keep it all with the Bengals, and you will be the GOAT of that franchise, right? Moving into the AFC South, we got the Houston
Ooh,
Texans. I was between two here.
really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that because for me, it's easy for you. It's easy. It's got to be J.J. Watt,
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Um,
right?
that's who I put. That's who I put. The
Hold on. Can I take a guess who your second is?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson. Absolutely. Yeah. I think Andre Johnson was. He's definitely the fan favorite pick. Well, no, people love JJ too. For me, I loved watching Andre Johnson growing up. I feel like the way he played, just as this like big bullish wide receiver, coming down with contested balls because he's just so freaking muscular and massive. He was awesome, and I
Yeah,
think I would say he was our first superstar, right?
probably. Yeah.
So so yeah, I think that's.
Was Arian Foster before
Oh no,
Andre Johnson? Or
he was after. I mean, he was during, right? They that
yeah,
overlapped,
there was some overlap, but
but yeah, Arian Foster came in a little bit later. He's also fantastic. Not the franchise. Probably the best running back of our franchise, easy.
where do you put DeAndre Hopkins in your list of all-time Texans? I'm
Um,
curious.
Honestly, probably four for me
Okay.
specifically. I have a Hopkins jersey. Like I
Yeah,
love Hopkins, and that was uh, I guess that was past high school. That was college where when I was following the Texans the most, where Hopkins was the guy, right? And I think
for sure. Automatic.
we only got maybe a year or two where Andre Johnson and Hopkins were playing together. Unfortunately, we had Matt Schaub throwing to him, I think. So
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I think easily here it's J.J. Watt. But my heart is like, oh well, maybe it's Andre Johnson. Colts.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. Yep, same. I
Easy.
I felt like that one's easy. I mean,
Speaks for itself, man.
yeah,
Hall of Famer.
yeah. If you want
One of the best
to,
quarterbacks to ever play the game.
yeah, if you want to, you can throw in some people there. Like if you're an old head, you can throw in Johnny Unitas. You can toss in wide receivers if you want to say Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne.
Marvin Harrison, for
Um,
sure.
but yeah, it's Peyton Manning. It's Peyton
It's
Manning
got to
here.
be. Yeah.
The Jaguars.
Oh, man. Putrid franchise. Not a lot of players that I personally remember, so I had to research this one a little bit. But
Mhm.
I came up with Tony Baselli.
Okay.
Um, just generally considered one of their best picks ever.
Hmm.
Had a very long career with the Jags.
Lineman. Yeah.
Um, yeah, lineman.
Yep. I was maybe a little picking with my heart here, but I picked Maurice Jones-Drew.
Now he's the one I think of when I think of the Jags,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have done that separately, right? Like,
Yeah.
who's the team goat versus
Who's the best
who we
versus
think
who do you
of?
think of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That'd
yeah,
be fun.
Maurice Jones-Drew for me. Not a not a ton more here. There's Fred Taylor if you wanted to, Jimmy Smith, but I think Tony Baselli, Maurice Jones-Drew, those are kind of the guys. The Tennessee Titans.
I've got Bruce Matthews here.
Okay, tell me about Bruce Matthews.
Linebacker?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Hold on.
O line.
Man, my memory is told. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page right now. Yeah, sorry. Guard, center, offensive tackle. Yeah, so another O lineman. Let's see here. 7 first team All Pro, 3 second team All Pro, 14 Pro Bowls. Really long career. That's
Mm-hmm.
great. Yeah, I mean, early 90s player, a little bit before my football consciousness. Played into the early, like till 2001, looks like. But yeah, it looks like he played every position for Tennessee.
Whew.
Um,
Like along the line, I assume you mean. Um,
yes.
that's awesome.
And he only ever played for the Oilers slash Titans. So,
Yeah. So okay, this is where I was kind of fumbling a little bit because I was like, okay, if I loop in the Oilers history, I think I'd say Earl Campbell. But
good pick.
if I'm just thinking, Titans, and wherever that line is, and some of the overlap, I will say a lot of running backs here between Earl Campbell, Eddie George, Derrick Henry, Chris
Derrick Henry,
Johnson,
man.
and then of course you have Steve McNair if you want to throw him in there as well.
Sure.
But yeah, I think I would say probably Eddie George if I'm just considering Titans history. But if we're bringing Oilers history into it, you got to consider Earl Campbell, which is who I wrote down, or
Yeah.
even Warren Moon, phenomenal
Yeah, Moon,
quarterback,
for
right?
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know more about this team than I do, clearly. But yeah, I got Bruce Matthews. That might be an uninspiring pick.
Hmm.
I like Earl Camber better, especially with the UT.
Yeah, yeah. Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh man, this one might be a little controversial.
Okay,
I'm going with Patrick Mahomes here.
I went with Patrick Mahomes too. I did. I
I
was
think
like,
maybe a lot of people would have said Tony Gonzalez.
yeah, Tony Gonzalez. And honestly, if Patrick Mahomes didn't exist, Travis Kelsey you could throw in there. Um,
Yeah.
um, that's kind of it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. I mean, if there's a case for the quarterback uplifting the team and dragging, the corpses of third string wide receivers to win a Super Bowl multiple times, then it's Patrick Mahomes.
yeah,
Like,
I
yeah,
didn't. I was considering that too because I'm like, I don't know, can Goat still be there? But this case, like, yeah, he easily.
he's playing. Yeah, I mean, it's like when we were watching Tom Brady.
Hmm.
We everybody knew that he's the best quarterback of all time. He was still playing,
Yeah.
and then he went on to win another Super Bowl with Tampa and just cemented it.
Hmm.
I think we can say the same for Mahomes.
Yep. I agree. The LA/ San Diego Chargers.
Oof, this one's tough, man. I got 3 players listed here. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
And really, now that I'm thinking about it, I think one of them tops the rest. So I'm going to go with
Tell me your.
Danny and Tom.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, tell me your runner-ups before your main person.
Okay. Well, my runner ups are Junior Seau,
Hmm.
and then Philip Rivers is who I think of when I think of the
Sure.
Chargers.
Yep. But
But
you and
my top pick is LT,
I, I,
LaDainian Tomlinson.
I did as
So,
well. I picked LaDainian Tomlinson. But same situation. I had Junior Seau. I had Antonio Gates over Philip Rivers,
also, yeah, Antonio Gates.
but I think you're probably more spot on with Rivers.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know why, but something that plays into it for me is did they spend their entire career there? And if they did, that gives them more points for me. Um, so I know Rivers had like what 2 years or something with the Colts. It wasn't
Yeah. Short
much,
stints.
but next one we got the Broncos.
Yeah, I gotta give it to John Elway here,
Yep,
and he's the guy that growing up, early football consciousness, he's the guy that I thought of when I thought of the Broncos. So
100%.
Super Bowl champion,
I think
hard to argue, I think.
not only that, but you factor in what he's done for the organization from like a GM standpoint as well, and that solidifies it for me.
Yeah,
Runner ups, I have Shannon Sharp, I have Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey, yeah.
I would think Von Miller, but I feel like he's bounced around too much after that.
Yeah, but I think he's a Bronco. He'll retire a Bronco.
I hope so. I hope he does like the,
He
sign
will.
for a 1 day contract or whatever. Last one in the AFC, we have the Oakland slash LA slash Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, so I took the entire franchise history into account with this one.
Go for
And
it.
it was kind of tough because unfortunately the Raiders have been kind of a middling franchise since the days of John Madden and like Bud Grant. So I went with Marcus Allen.
Okay. Yeah, running back. Solid.
Yeah, he's just one of the top all-time running back, probably top 10 all-time running back, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a great pick. I went with Howie Long here because that's who I think of, and I
Because
think
he's on TV all the time.
I was just about to say it's because I see him every Sunday, and on top of that, I feel like whenever I see the old footage of Raiders, they're always talking about Howie Long. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
what did it
fair.
for me. I liked that pick, on for the Raiders. Okay, we're going to jump into the NFC side. The first one up on the NFC East, we have the Dallas Cowboys. So,
There are a lot of players I could name here, man. There have been a lot of good Cowboys.
so I'll
Two
say,
big Super Bowl runs.
mhm,
Ultimately, I had to go with Emmitt Smith.
I also went with Emmitt Smith. I think my other two runner-ups were playing right alongside him with Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. What made the decision for me is the accolades. He racked up way more, as far as like Pro Bowls, rushing yardage leader,
Well,
rushing
his
touchdown
rushing
leader.
total yards will probably never be beaten,
No, yeah,
just with the way the game's evolved.
yeah. So, that alone kind of pushed it over the top for me. And again, same thing, right? Like, who do you think of? I think of Emmitt Smith. A close second would be Troy Aikman, I think.
I also got to give flowers to the old guys. Okay, so
Yeah,
Emmitt's my top choice, but I actually didn't have Aikman or um,
Irvin.
Irvin in. That was my next pick would have been Roger Staubach.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, just the leader of the team, won two Super Bowls. I also could have picked Bob Lilly, Mr. Cowboy, or Danny White, Drew Pearson, Des Bryant.
Dez.
Um,
See, Dez would
yeah,
have been the modern
definitely not an
pick.
all-time great, but all these guys, fantastic players. We've got such a valuable history. I wish we could do something with it. But yeah, it got to be Emmitt Smith.
Nice. New York Giant. Let me try that one
Easy,
again. New York Giants.
easy.
Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor,
Yes, sir. Yeah, that one seemed pretty easy for me as well.
got to be.
Sure, you can toss in Eli Manning, or you could toss
No,
in Michael Strahan. I feel like that would be a decent one. But when it comes to like he might be top five best players of all time. When people talk
right.
about that in the NFL.
Game
So
changing good.
exactly. So I think for your team, yeah, it's got to be LT. Oh, before we do the Redskin or Commanders, sorry. Question about that. When you hear LT, do you think Lawrence Taylor or do you think LaDainian Tomlinson?
I think of LaDainian Tomlinson
Me too. Me too. I think that's just
for
a
sure.
an age thing. I feel like if you asked, my dad or my uncles, they would probably say Lawrence Taylor.
They'd probably say Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Commanders slash Redskins.
I went with Darrell Green on this one,
Okay.
and he was a little before my time, but two-time Super Bowl champ with the Commanders in '88 and '91. Three-time first-team All-Pro, second All-Pro in '90, seven-time Pro Bowl. I don't know, man. Looking through the Commanders' history,
I was
the only other one that really popped out was Joe Theismann.
Yeah, I was surprised as well how like because they also I think the entire NFC East has a they all have very storied franchises where they have a
For
lot of
sure.
memorable moments and great players. But as I was looking through memorable Commanders slash Redskins, didn't find many guys that I was like,
Yeah,
oh that name sounds familiar.
yeah.
I went with Art Monk. Um, Wide receiver, played alongside Joe Theismann. So
He's a
won
Hall
the
of Famer.
won the championships alongside him too. That's who stuck out to me when I was doing my research. Next one for me, the Eagles might be more of a homer pick, more of a like love this guy type of thing. I went with Jason Kelsey.
Oh God.
You don't think
For
so?
real?
Yeah.
No way, dude. No way.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm really not the biggest Kelsey fan, obviously,
Okay.
either of them. But it's got to be Reggie White here.
Yeah, Reggie White. Reggie White.
Um, I'm trying to find his stats.
Maybe Brian Dawkins,
Yeah,
but
Dawkins is who I would have said, like, when I think of the
Eagles.
Eagles,
Hmm.
like, probably before this, current regime, with Jalen Hurts and everybody.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess Reggie White, I guess he doesn't really meet your criteria of only playing for the Eagles. He played with them from 85 to 92, and then we played with the Packers from 93 to 98, and I actually remember him more as a Packer than an Eagle, but
Yeah.
his stint with the Packers, let's see, 85 to 92. Um, he was eight-time first team All-Pro, and then after that, for the remainder of his years, he was five-time second team All-Pro, 13-time Pro Bowl player. Um, Two-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 87
Hmm.
and 98, actually. What the heck? That's weird. 98 with the Packers, so he had a little bit of a resurgence, and that's probably why I remember him as a Packer more than an Eagle.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, that's I don't know, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Who do you have?
I had Kelsey. Um,
Kelsey. Yeah, I'm sorry.
no, you're good. Again, that one I know is a bit of a like fan favorite homer type of pick. But that was another one where he's like, he's been with the franchise for his entire career. Had a lot of Pro Bowl selections.
He's a fan favorite.
Yeah, and he's probably at his position top 10 all time. I mean, how many great centers are there really? So I mean, you know,
I
I
put Travis Frederick ahead of Kelsey.
well, there you go. You can do that personally on your own top 10 list of centers.
I think we've named at least a couple other linemen already that are better than Kelsey. So I'd say maybe top 20.
Sure. Um, Specifically for centers, if we ever make a top 10 center list, I think you just need to put the bullet in my head at that point. That's disgusting work right there.
Yeah.
Nobody's making top 10 center lists. Um, no, man. It's Kelsey for me just because of his closeness to the franchise and how much he cares about it and stuff like that.
Okay.
We're going to jump into the NFC North, and we have the Green Bay Packers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I was going to say Aaron Rodgers. I was even going to say Brett Favre. I passed up both of those to take an old head. I took Bart Starr.
The first Green Bay Packer quarterback.
Won the
Yeah.
first two Super Bowls.
Won the first two Super Bowls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, and that's I think part of that is because Aaron Rodgers' story isn't over yet, and I don't like. Well, I mean, okay, neither is Patrick Mahomes. I know we talked about that earlier, but like just the way that it ended and him floating to other franchises kind of takes it out of it for me.
Yeah.
He's still phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Like all of his main success was with the Packers, and I think if I didn't have that bias, Yeah, it's probably Rodgers here. That's fine.
Yeah, I guess the well has been tainted there a little bit for Packers fans. I don't know how they feel, but I'd be curious to hear what they have to say about Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, I think he's a no doubt Hall of Famer.
Hmm.
Um, in his peak, top five quarterback all time, I think.
Hmm.
Maybe not today, but like you said, the story's not over yet. He could do something with Pittsburgh here. They look interesting. But I think he's the best player they've ever had, honestly.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not going to argue that. Chicago Bears.
This one was tough.
This one was
Who do you
tough.
have?
So gosh, this feels like another one where it's like because of the era I grew up in. Who I think of when I think of the Chicago Bears is Brian Urlacher.
Great pick.
Yeah.
And definitely who I think of or I thought of as a kid when I thought of the Bears
Yep.
for sure.
Yep. Um,
But I picked Walter Payton.
yeah.
Sweetness.
Yep. Walter Payton, fantastic pick. I'm not going to argue
Easily
that one.
top 10, debatably top five all-time running back
Hmm.
there. Um,
You could say Dick Butkus. You could say Mike Singletary. Like they've had a lot.
yep,
It's another franchise with a ton of
fantastic.
phenomenal
Yeah,
talent here. I think both of our picks are could be considered the greatest of all time for
sure.
that franchise with Urlacher and Peyton. Next up, we have the Detroit Lions.
This one could be a little tough too, but I picked Barry Sanders.
Um,
Undoubtedly a top five running back all time.
I did as well. I did as
Okay.
well. I think I didn't.
The only other one that comes to mind is Megatron,
Yeah,
maybe Stafford.
yeah, yeah. I also had Calvin Johnson. Um, Matthew Stafford is probably that's probably a good pick as well. I think in a similar vein, I'm like, okay, but he's having his whole like resurgence, not even resurgence,
With the
just
Rams. He's been
second
better with
career.
in his short stim with the Rams than he ever was with the Lions.
Yeah, well, stats
He won a
wise,
Super Bowl.
is better with the Lions, but yeah, like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Um, you win a championship with the Rams, and I'm sure the Lions are like, damn, that sucks because it's. But I mean, I think if with how the Lions have been performing with Jared Goff, um, you know, if they get up there to where they reach an NFC championship, maybe even this year with how they're starting to look, um, maybe dip their toe into a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I
I mean the
I
future
would
is bright for Detroit right now for sure.
I was gonna say that arguably might be one of the most fair trades of all time with how things have ended up playing out.
In the long term,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's getting off topic though. I think we're right here. Barry Sanders,
yeah.
with a nice little asterisk for Calvin Johnson. Vikings.
This one was kind of tough too for
Hmm.
me, but I went with Fran Tarkenton,
Ooh.
and this is also one of those guys that changed the game. Old school for sure, definitely before our time, but he was known as the scrambler.
Hmm.
So this is basically the guy that invented scrambling out of the pocket and
OG
you know,
running quarterback.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he win Super Bowls? Hold on. Who do you have?
While you're looking that up, I have Adrian Peterson. Um, I think the accolades that he racked up while he was with Minnesota were just too good. I don't think there was a moment where he wasn't the best running back in the league when he was on Minnesota. Um, Another nice little asterisk.
Well, you're kind of going against your own rule there
I
because
know,
AP played for at least two other teams
I
after
know,
Minnesota.
I know. You're absolutely correct. But whenever I looked at the list of guys who I think, who I wanted to put down, he was the one that stood out with a nice little small asterisk next to Randy Moss as well. He'll always hold a place in my heart for the Vikings.
Fran Tarkenton has his number retired by the Vikings and is
Sick.
also in their Ring of Honor. And I
Nice.
do not see Adrian Peterson here.
Is it just too early for that?
I don't know. But Adrian Peterson did beat his child with a switch or whatever, so maybe that has something to do with it.
You know what? Hey, I'm going to change mine on the spot. Let's go with Fran Tarkenton.
Okay, on to the next one.
All right, NFC South is what we're moving to. We got the Carolina Panthers.
Panthers fans might hate me for this,
Hmm.
but I think Cam Newton.
I love that pick. I love that pick because Cam Newton is one of my all-time favorite quarterbacks, simply because of how he carried himself and how he was and how he carried that franchise really.
For sure.
Outside of the small hiccup in the Super Bowl where he decided not to jump on the ball, um, I
Let's
picked
not remember that.
yeah right. I picked Julius Peppers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The, another nice notable name here would be Steve Smith. But he kind of bounced around too, so I didn't really
Yeah.
want to put him here. But yeah, Cam Newton is who I wanted. That was my picking with my heart pick. Picking with my brain, I was like, that's probably Julius Peppers. That felt right to me. Um, Atlanta Falcons. Who do I have here? Um, I have. I think this is a offensive tackle. I put Jesse Tuggle.
I have no idea who that is. I don't think I've ever heard that name.
That's totally fine. That
But
was
I've got Julio Jones.
man. Okay, I wanted Jesse Tuggle's a linebacker. By the way, I was off. I was just looking at the accolades on on Wikipedia because this is another franchise where my knowledge of them is light. I wanted
Yeah.
I wanted to pick Julio Jones, but I didn't. And then I was like, oh, is it? Could it be Matt Ryan? No, not really. Could it be Michael Vick? No, not really. Also, he kind of beat some dogs when he was there.
Yeah.
I like him better as a Philadelphia Eagle. And then I was like Deion Sanders, but no, not
Yeah,
that
but
one
he
either,
had a
right?
pretty short stint with them, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I should
For
have.
some reason, Devin Hester comes to mind, but he only played with them for one season.
Devin Hester played for the Falcons?
You didn't know that?
No, I
For
only
some
remember
reason,
him
I
as a
think of
bear.
him as a Falcon. I know that's crazy, but
I only remember him as a bear.
huh.
Interesting. But yeah, I put Jesse Tuggle, linebacker. But hey, you know what? Let me scratch that. Let me put Julio Jones. That feels right.
I'm curious what Falcons fans have to say about that.
Absolutely. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay. I put Derek Brooks
I
here.
yeah, I also put Derek Brooks. I did.
Linebacker for their Super Bowl runs. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this one's very hard, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. Nice notable names for Warren Sapp, Rondé Barber. They had a stellar defense, really.
Yeah.
You know, but Derek Brooks is kind of the guy, right?
And he was the Tampa Bay guy. Was he with Tampa Bay for his entire career?
I believe so. It might have done the same thing as like Emmitt Smith, where it's like his last 2 years were with some garbage team.
All with the Bucks,
All with the Bucks.
95
Good,
to '08.
good for him. Another notable one where it's probably an underrated pick, or like what's not underrated, just one that most people probably don't think of, and he's probably not the GOAT, but he's probably the top five for them. Mike Evans. He's been a wide receiver there his entire career. He's
He
gotten
at the end of his career, he will go down as a top five buck of all time for
yeah.
sure.
He's got 1,000 yards in each career, or I'm sorry, each season that he's had. You know how
I
difficult that
hope
is?
they can do something this year and make a run or something.
Yeah.
I think Baker's the guy to do it. So I don't know how much left Mike Evans has in the tank, but I'm not going to doubt that guy. I think he could have 2, 3, 4 more years even. We'll see. But how old is Mike Evans, dude?
Uh,
He's in his 30s solidly, right?
okay, we're in our 30s, so calm
He's
down.
32.
Damn,
So,
he's
I
my
mean, as a
age.
wide receiver, you can maintain into your mid 30s for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say he's probably has at least 2 more seasons in him.
yeah. I just you calling him old and then saying he's 32 kind of
Oh,
rubs
yeah,
me
he's
the
younger
wrong
than
way.
us.
We're old, man.
He's
We're
old
old.
for an NFL player, man.
Yeah. New Orleans Saints.
Easy. Drew
Drew
Brees.
Brees. Yes, sir. That's what I
Next.
have. Yep.
Yeah, nobody's going to argue that one.
Nope. Cameron Jordan. Maybe because he's been there his entire career. Has he been there his whole career, or did
I
he
don't
just
know,
like
but
go
he
back?
didn't win a Super Bowl with him, did he?
Yeah, no, he was there when Breeze
Did he?
won his Super Bowl. Yeah.
Oh,
He's been
that's
there a
right.
long time. Or did he go back? I'm assuming you're on Wikipedia, so you
He's
can.
been with the Saints his entire career since 2011 to present.
That's pretty damn good. That's what 14
Yeah.
years. That's pretty phenomenal.
I do not see Super Bowl champion though. So he came on the year after they won the Super Bowl. Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess it would have been. All right, Drew Brees. I'm cool with that. There was no argument from me, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any other. When I was doing my research and looking at the Ring of Honor and stuff, I also saw Archie Manning, and I'm like, but he kind
The
of,
OG.
but they kind of sucked through his
Yeah.
entire tenure. Like, yeah, he was the face of the franchise, but not a very good one. But
Yeah.
yeah, I put Drew Brees here. Los Angeles Rams, also
I had
St. Louis Rams.
yeah. I had two here.
Okay.
Eric Dickerson or Deacon Jones.
Ooh,
Offense or defense, pick your flavor. I really couldn't decide.
really? So that's interesting because I didn't have either of those guys. I had
What?
I had Aaron Donald. He was there his entire career, and easily the best defensive player for them in their history.
Maybe a top five all time defensive tackle? Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, I would think so. Okay, accolades wise, yes.
Yeah.
He was able to retire with a championship. He also, let's be real, he could have played a few more years. He kind of retired early, but
Yeah.
or I mean, look, I don't know what early is. Maybe it was the right time for him. I think he still has it though. But yeah, I put Aaron Donald here. I like Eric Dickerson though. I think that's a good pick.
He was part of the greatest show on turf, right?
Yeah, yeah,
St. Louis.
and he's from Sealy, Texas.
Hey,
That's
there you go.
literally the rival of the school that I went to. So, um, who we got next? We have the Arizona Cardinals.
Easy.
Larry Fitz.
Larry Fitz.
Yes, sir. Okay, cool. Larry Fitzgerald. I'm glad we were both in alignment there.
He's the one shining gem in the wasteland of crap that is Arizona's history, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who else I put up there.
The only other one that really comes to mind is Carson Palmer, but that was more like a longevity thing, and he played for other teams too.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I remember him more as a Bengal. I always forget that he had his stint in Arizona.
Oh, you're right. He was definitely a Bengal for much longer. What am I thinking?
Or you think Kurt Warner?
That might be it.
But then Kurt Warner also played for the Rams,
I don't know, man.
right? So it's like,
It's my mind.
and then
Who
there's
knows?
I'm blanking on his name. He retired last year. We've been talking about it
Patrick
already.
Peterson?
Thank you, Patrick Peterson. I would have put him here too,
Yeah.
just because I
Yeah.
like him.
I didn't even think of that, but that's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. Next up, Seattle Seahawks. Who you got?
This was kind of tough for me, man.
Okay,
It's either their all-time leading receiver, Steve Largent,
okay.
or as much as it pains me to say this,
Don't.
Russell Wilson.
No, no. I disagree wholeheartedly. I
Who are you
think
going to say, Bobby Wagner?
no. I was gonna give some love since we're at the tail end here to some O line and say Walter Jones. Fantastic lineman through his entire career, I believe, was with Seattle. Largent's a fantastic pick. I so disagree with the Russell Wilson pick, and I think
You won
it's
him a Super Bowl.
sure, yeah. Marshawn Lynch and the Legion of Boom won him a Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the Legion of Boom was a collective unit. Russell Wilson was in his prime. You got to give him his credit. In those days, he made the plays. Marshawn Lynch was absolutely pivotal, but I think it's Russell Wilson in his prime. It's probably Largent.
Okay, if you say so. All right. Last one we got up here, the San Francisco 49ers. I feel like,
Easy, but also kind of hard.
yeah, low key, because I was thinking, okay, they have two players that are arguably top 3 all time. And I have to say, that's pretty amazing. Like how many
Yes.
franchises can say that? So I put down Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice
Okay. I'm
with
assuming.
Joe Montana,
Yep.
honorable mention.
Yeah. Absolutely. That was my only other um, slight hesitation. Um,
Yeah.
Steve Young, shout out to him. Ronnie Lott, shout out to him. Patrick Willis, even shout out to him. But it's Jerry Rice. It's Jerry Rice. He is
Yeah, for
undisputed the
sure.
best wide receiver of all time. And when we talk about
Absolutely.
best players of all time, top 5?
It's crazy how nobody will debate Jerry Rice is the best. For
No.
running backs, there's a group of about 5 or 6 maybe, but for wide receivers, it's undisputedly Jerry Rice.
Yeah. It's not close. So, um, yeah, man,
That
that'll be
was
all the
fun, dude. It was
goats.
like a little football time capsule.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? Is there anybody specifically that we thought were crazy picks or ones that you were like, man, this is a poverty franchise. They got nobody.
Dude, the Jags, that was tough looking through that.
Yeah, the Bengals,
Yeah.
despite being around for so long. But then there were some that were tough, man.
Yeah,
With the Steelers, the Cowboys,
for sure.
and then of course the Niners here at the end. So, um, let's get into the tip drill. Let's do some games.
All right.
All right. All right, jumping into our tip drill. We got a few things today. The first one up, we're going to do the best and worst games left. So I'm going to go through each week of the schedule. Or I'm sorry. How do I word this? I'm going to go. I picked 4 games from each remaining week. And based on what we know now, being a quarter of the way through the season, I want you to tell me out of these slates of games, which one do you think is the most interesting, the best game to watch that week, versus which one is probably going to be lackluster, probably going to be a boring game. So first one's up, week 5. We have San Francisco at LA, which would be, if you're hearing this, would be tonight. We have the Texans and Ravens. We have the Buccaneers and the Seahawks. And then we have the Giants and the New Orleans Saints. Which one's the best game here? Which one's the worst?
I think the best going to be San Francisco and LA.
Mm-hmm.
Division rivalry, Thursday night football. Um, both teams fighting hard. This is actually looking when I was looking through like the rest of the season. This is the one I had pinpointed as one of our best games of the season potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a fun one. I'm excited for it. Worst for that week, I don't know. I guess New York Saints,
Yeah.
just because the Saints are bad. New York, I don't know. We'll see what they are, but it I don't know.
Yeah.
For some reason, my gut tells me Tampa Bay and Seahawks could be a stinker.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I don't either. I don't have a good reason for it, but
yeah. And I'll tell you, by the way, the criteria that I used here was pretty random. I just made sure that the teams had a somewhat even. Like I didn't want to put all the Kansas City Chiefs games because I feel like that'd be a little too much. Because realistically, we're probably going to watch all those games. We're going to probably watch all the Cowboys games. We're going to watch, all the Eagles games because they're always on. So I
you
tried
can't
to
escape them.
exactly. So I tried to make it a little fun and kind of make it pretty even for all the teams. Week 6, we have LA Rams at Baltimore Ravens, Cardinals at Colts, Chargers at Dolphins, and then Niners at Buccaneers.
You go first this time.
So I'm thinking this game, or oh, sorry, I'm messing up with some of the graphics. There we go. So I still don't think Lamar is going to be back by that point, so that one kind of X's that one out for me.
I agree.
This one, like low key, might be all right with Cardinals and Colts, but I think the best game here is going to be San Francisco and Tampa Bay. And for me,
Yeah,
I think the worst game because Lamar's going to be out. I don't think that one's going to be that fun.
yeah. And the Colts Cardinals probably going to be a beatdown.
Hmm.
I might disagree with you on best game. I think maybe the Chargers and Dolphins is interesting. I
Ooh,
feel like both those teams are like fighting for their lives right now,
that's
and definitely injured. So like desperation game. I don't know like what time slot that's in. Um,
I'm assuming it's probably either like the midday, like the 3 o'clock game,
yeah,
because it's oh no, it's at Miami, so it might be a noon game.
yeah,
But yeah, no, no, no. I see what you're saying there, and especially now with the injuries that both teams are facing, this could be a pivotal week to see. Okay, what is our after week 6? Are we both like just completely ass now? Are we 3-3? Are we,
right,
like
right.
what does that look like?
The deciding game.
Week 7, we have Steelers at Bengals, Jets at Carolina, the Patriots at the Titans, and the Saints at the Bears. A lot of ass this week, I'll admit.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly.
so what? But what's the best?
Well, the best one is not even on this list. It's Bucks and Lions on Monday Night Football, Week 7.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know.
But the best, I guess, Pittsburgh and Bengals. If Joe Burrow's back by then,
No, week 7?
could he be or no?
No, he's not going to be back till like week 16.
Then that's gonna be tough to watch.
Yeah,
I guess Patriots. Well, I don't know, dude. This is
this
tough.
is a tough
That's gonna be a
week.
beatdown.
Yeah,
I guess for competitive, let's go Jets Carolina.
yeah.
Just because we got two young quarterbacks, both teams kind of middling. I don't want to call the Jets bad. I don't think Carolina's awful. Or at least they're neither of them are confirmed to be ass
Hmm.
yet.
Hmm.
Saints Bears does not interest me in the slightest. The only thing that interests me about Patriots Tennessee is the fact that Vrabel's homecoming, and but
Mm.
I think the Patriots are just going to freaking whoop up on Tennessee because they're so bad.
Okay,
Um,
so it sounds like you like that game at least somewhat. What's the worst game here?
I have no interest in Saints Bears.
Okay,
None at all.
fair enough. I'll disagree with you a little bit, just because I think the way that the Patriots play currently, outside of last week, and the way the Titans play is kind of boring. Meanwhile, somebody like Caleb Williams could kind of light it up. Aaron Rodgers, we know, can light it up every now and then.
Yeah.
So, like, those guys could be fun, at least, those could be
Yeah.
like some crazy shootouts because we know with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams with Chicago, and then we have the Saints who aren't great, but they've been high utilization on offense,
Yeah, they've been
using
fighting. Yeah.
Spencer Rattler a lot, using a lot of their wide receivers. That could just be a good, fun, like offensive powered game.
Could be.
Okay, week 8, we have Bears at Ravens. We have Bills at Carolina. We have Cowboys at Broncos, and then we have Packers at Steelers.
Call me a homer, but I think Cowboys Broncos may be an interesting one.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be fun. I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's at like the 3 p.m. slot.
I don't know.
But yeah, we don't have to look it up. I don't care too much. Um, but I'm just guessing because West Coast team with the Broncos,
Yeah.
and then Dallas is always in that slot just to have the most eyes, right? Like America's game, as Fox usually labels it.
Yep.
So I agree there. Lamar should be back by then, so I don't think that game's going to be boring. And then I think Packers Steelers is actually going to be pretty fun, with
I
the whole
think Bills
Aaron
Carolina
Rodgers.
is going to be a beatdown. You could
Yeah,
probably chalk that up one to yeah.
that's what I would think as well. I think it's just going to be boring because it's going to be Josh Allen whooping up on Carolina,
Yeah.
or they could be walking into a trap game there. I don't know. So maybe that one
Interesting.
ends up being like better than it face value. But yeah, I have no arguments here. Week 9, we have Chargers at Titans, Jags at Raiders, Chiefs at Bills, Cowboys at Cardinals.
Chiefs Bills got to be the best, right?
That is easily the best. Yeah, that one looks so much fun. I'm assuming by that point, Rashee Rice will be back. I think because he was only
Crashy Rice.
yeah, because he was only suspended for
I
six
said
games.
crashy.
Oh my god, that's awful. Yeah, he should be back by then. Um, so that game will be fun. Xavier Worthy's
Jack
already
Travers is going to
back.
be ass.
You think so? Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
probably will. Well, with this slate of games, yeah, for sure. I think hopefully maybe Cam Ward will kind of find his legs a little bit by week 9. Maybe they'll have a win
We'll see.
at this point. So we'll see. Week 10 we have Browns at Jets, Patriots at Buccaneers. We have Eagles at Green Bay, and then we have Lions at Commanders.
Best has got to be Eagles Green Bay, right? Well, I guess maybe Lions Commanders, depending on what happens, but I don't know if the Commanders are what they were last season.
No, and they've worried me the last 2 weeks with Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels. That I'm
I
like,
think Jaden McDaniels has been cleared to play and practice and stuff. I don't know about McLaurin, but
yeah. Either way, if that persists, it makes me a little nervous for like what that means this year for their records.
I want to say I called this.
You'd mentioned them taking a big step back, and that's totally fair. I think, yeah, I think Eagles Packers is the fun game. Boring game's got to be. Oops, messed up with the graphics. Sorry.
Don't put the Raiders in with the Browns and the Jets, man.
Yeah, that's a
No.
whole recipe of bad. No, it's got to be Browns Jets. That one doesn't look fun at all.
Browns Jets Week 10 was actually on my list of top 3 worst games for the rest of the season.
Yeah, yeah, that can't be fun for anybody.
Unless they get Shador and Justin Fields battling.
Hey, right? Yeah, yeah, I could see that. That could be fun. Week 11, we have Chargers at Jags, Buccaneers at Bills, Commanders at Dolphins, and then Cowboys at Raiders. So not like
Man.
pretty even games throughout this week. I don't think there's anything that's like far and away the best game, and then nothing that's like too sloppy either.
Yeah, the other game that I had for Week 11 was Lions Eagles on Sunday Night Football.
That's
That
gonna be
one's gonna be a
good.
banger.
Yep.
Yeah. But amongst these games, give me Tampa Bay and Bills. That seems like the two best teams here
hmm
fighting. Yeah,
I think they will be by that point as well. Like,
probably so.
I think by this point, both of them will probably be running away with their division, like a 2 or 3 game lead at this point, which
Yeah.
would be early, by the way, because it's only week 11. But yeah, I think so. And the worst game here, are you thinking Commanders Dolphins? Or are you thinking Cowboys Raiders? Like, try to take your homer picks away.
I mean, I don't. I think Chargers Jags, man.
Really? What?
Yeah.
Tell me what you don't like about the Jags, because I feel like that's been persistent the last few slides.
I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I haven't really watched any other games
Okay.
this season. The fact that I'm not a Trevor Lawrence believer.
Okay. That's so fair. I'm not either.
Um, and I just see the Chargers as a team that's really talented, but they're going to continue to be injured.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
hope.
don't really see them coming back. We'll see. It's still early, but something just gives me the sense they're going to continue to be injured the rest of the season.
Yeah. I'm going to be real. Whenever I don't think I saw that Joe Alt was injured. So when you mentioned that earlier, I was like, that's huge for them.
Yeah,
That sucks.
yeah, it
So
is big.
I don't. Do you know how severe the injury was? By the way, is like
High ankle sprain. I think 3 to 5 weeks.
he'll be back by then.
Yeah,
So yeah,
um,
at this point they may steamroll the Jags, depending. Well,
but
the Jags have been
their O
good.
line in general has been depleted throughout like the preseason. I think they had some guy go out, and then Joe Alt filled in for him,
Right.
and so like they've had several O line starters injured already at this point. Some season ending, some not, but it's just that puts that many more snaps on the backups.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I do think though. I mean, I don't even want to say this isn't like a hot take. This is an underrated take or anything. The Jags are 3-1. Like
They are.
I'm as a Texans fan worried about them in the division. I'm worried about the Colts. Obviously, I'm not worried about the Titans ever. But yeah, they've shown some sparks, especially on defense. Like as far as takeaways, the amount of sacks, the amount of interceptions they've had, really good. So I could see
I'll
them.
give you that.
By this point, I would not be surprised if both of these teams were not winning their division, but you know, on the cusp of taking over their division. Like maybe they're a game back each. So yeah, that'll be. I bet that would be a fun game. I think for me at least, the boring game here is Commanders Dolphins.
I'll give you that one. Yeah. At this point, at that point in the season, both of those teams could have given up due to injuries or lack of motivation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that one.
Week 12, we have Lions at Giants. We have Falcons at Saints. We have Jags at Cardinals. And then we have Panthers at San Francisco Niners.
Least interesting Lions Giants because it's going to be a beatdown.
Okay. You don't think you don't believe in Jackson Dart? You don't think he'll, bring them to be a viable
I don't
option?
think New York's defense is worth the damn, and the Lions are going to eat them up no matter what Jackson Dart can do.
Fair enough. Um, Before you say anything, can I go ahead and say San Francisco, Carolina, the
Tell me
Christian
why.
the Christian McCaffrey Bowl, if you will.
Ooh, okay. He's
Maybe
had plenty of revenge games against them already, though.
he probably has, yeah. I just compared to what else is here, that seemed like that could be a fun one, and I think that's like a Sunday night game as well, or
Okay.
maybe even a Monday night game. Um, then we move on to one of the most exciting weeks in sports. This is Thanksgiving week. So we have Green Bay at Detroit. We have Kansas City at Dallas. We have the Bengals at the Ravens. And then we have the Falcons at the Jets.
This one's tough for me.
Let me go ahead and put the X over Falcons and Jets.
Thank you.
The other three, I mean, look, they're on Thanksgiving, so obviously they're must watch. But legitimately, these are must watch. Like, all of these seem interesting. I think, if anything, maybe the Bengals is a little less interesting because of how I don't think Burrow
I
gets back this
disagree,
quick.
man. I disagree. The two I'm fighting over are Green Bay Lions and Bengals Ravens.
Really, you don't think Chiefs Cowboys will
The
be
Beng the Bengals Ravens is always a banger.
Mhm.
No matter what. Like that rivalry is just so pure hatred. I feel like it's always entertaining to watch.
interesting? Um, that is going to be the night game too, which
Prime
always,
time. Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a
in
lot more
terms
fun.
of like best teams, it's Green Bay Lions, right? But
Yeah,
I
at
don't
that
know.
point in the season,
Gut just tells me that Bengals Ravens game is going to be a banger, but we'll see. It could be a total awful snooze fest. Joe Burrow's not back. Let's say the Ravens shut Lamar down or something for the season. Who
Mhm.
knows? But
Yeah, unless he has some miraculous recovery, I don't think they're expecting Joe Burrow to be back that early. But you never know. Maybe the timeline looks better and he's there by then. I know that would be a Thanksgiving miracle that Bengals fans would be happy with, and fans as a whole would be happy with because he's
yeah,
a fun
it's
player to
good
watch.
for football.
Um,
Burrow's good for football.
I think if we're just talking, hey, what do common like casual fans want to watch? It's Kansas City, Dallas. Those are the two like
Probably
big.
just two huge, massive fan bases.
Exactly. Week 14. Let's see here. We have, we
Browns
have
Titans worst.
yep, Browns and Titans. I'm sorry, the Titans at the Browns. We have the Commanders at the Vikings. We have the Steelers at the Ravens, and then we have the Texans at the Chiefs. So I think we both agree, Titans Browns. That's going to be so boring. The
I
two,
don't know what to think about Washington and Minnesota. Like at that point in the season, I just don't know what either of those teams are going to be.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they benched JJ McCarthy. It's now, why am I
Carson
blanking?
Wentz.
Carson Wentz, thank you, the homie. And then the Commanders, you don't know what's going on right now with some of their injuries. So I think we could take that one out of the equation for best. It's funny that in the last slide you'd mentioned the Bengals and Ravens.
Rivalry, I was going to say this rivalry runs deep too.
Yeah,
Like I think this one's probably going to be the best game. And by week 14, I'm hoping your Texans will be on a much better trajectory
mhm.
and we'll be saying the Texans and the Chiefs are the two best teams fighting here. But I think because of the rivalry, the Steelers Baltimore game is always going to be entertaining.
Yep, I agree. I was gonna say I think this has more hatred than Bengals Ravens,
Interesting.
but I think that's just maybe how I viewed it because both of those teams were really good in high school, like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you know both of these games.
Plus, assuming Aaron Rodgers and let's go back and say Lamar is healthy, like that could be a really good shootout
Oh
game.
yeah, oh yeah. Week 15, we got Raiders at Eagles, Bills at Patriots, Dolphins at Steelers, and then Colts at Seahawks. So again, this one's not like too fun. Like there's this one. I feel like this one's balanced. This is probably the most balanced out
Yeah.
of all the weeks we've looked at so far.
So like Raiders at Eagles is probably going to be a beatdown. I don't
Okay.
see that as interesting. I think Bills versus Patriots is going to be more of a fun game at
hmm
that point in the season. It's going to be colder. It's going to be, a
that could be a
battle of the
snow
cold
game.
teams. That could be fun. For some reason, Miami Pittsburgh doesn't appeal to me at all,
Mm-mm.
but I think that Colts Seahawks game could be interesting.
I agree 100%. I think Colts Seahawks is the best one here. That's the one,
Yeah.
especially if they're both continuing the same trajectory they're on with Sam
Right.
Darnold and Daniel
Two
Jones.
good teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I would say the least interesting. I'm tossed up between Miami, Pittsburgh, and Raiders, Eagles. Um, coin flip. What do you think?
I think Raiders Eagles. I think the Eagles are not going to even have to try in that game, unfortunately.
Okay, fair enough. You don't have to. You don't have to twist my arm. That's for sure. Week 16, we have Packers at Bears, Falcons at Cardinals, Vikings at Giants, and then Rams at Seahawks.
Um, yeah, so not listed here is a true stinker, Saints Jets.
Oh,
That's an honorable mention.
that's
But
awful.
I don't know, man. Between the best is got to be between like the Green Bay and Chicago game because of the rivalry there.
hmm
That one's always fun. But then also the Rams and Seahawks is fun.
hmm
I
Yeah,
don't know. That's tough. I think the Rams and Seahawks just because they're two better teams.
and I think that late in the season, it could be like determining division winner by that
Playoff
point.
spot. Yeah.
Exactly. Or yeah, at least yeah, it could be playoff spot as well. Who's going to be the leader? Who's going to be the wild card? Right. Um, I will give Green Bay and Chicago a close second, just because that's a good rivalry, and that could be
Yeah.
fun that late in the season, and also potentially a snow game. Worst here. I'm
The
actually
birds.
really
I don't
okay. Okay, cool. I'll say birds.
I just don't think either of the ultimately I had high hopes for the Cardinals this season, but
Mhm.
they're not who I thought they were. And I just see the Falcons as sort of a middling team. I don't think this is their year. I don't know that
No,
there's much to be excited about here.
that's fair. And I think with the Minnesota and New York game, at least they have players that can be fun at times.
You get to watch Justin
hmm
Jefferson, Jackson Dart, like you get to see younger guys.
Yeah.
Um, with the Falcons and Cardinals, who do you got really? Yeah, other than Michael
Bijan.
Penix and Bijan.
Yeah.
But who on the
Cardinals.
Cardinals excites you?
Nobody right now.
Trey McBride is, you
Yeah,
know,
Traquan. No, you're right, man. There's nobody there.
yeah.
Week
And these are
seven.
Christmas
Yeah, Christmas week. So
week six.
um, we have Cowboys, Commanders. We have Lions at Vikings. We have Chiefs at Broncos, and then we have Eagles at Bills. I think there's a lot of good matchups here.
Yeah, Cowboys Washington is always a fun rivalry match. I think for the sake of Lions and Minnesota is fun rivalry too.
Hmm.
Um, wow, honestly, yeah, this is tough.
So for me, um, and I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the season when we did like where we thought teams were going to end up for the season. I put Minnesota down at the bottom, and I think that's going to play out like I had mentioned. So I don't think
Do
that
you think that'll
game's
be a beatdown despite the rivalry?
yeah.
I don't disagree.
I don't think
I
that
don't
game will be
disagree.
fun. And then on the flip side of that, I think Chiefs and Broncos.
That one's always fun.
And the main thing here, what's going to make it a great game versus a good game, is where are the Broncos in the standings?
Right.
You know, if it turns out that
We kind of
they're
know the Chiefs are going to be there
Mhm.
competing no matter what. It really, we don't know what the Broncos are yet.
Yeah. Obviously, Eagles, Bills, both great teams, both
That's going to be a
Super
banger.
Bowl
Yeah.
contenders. That's a great game as well. But that's kind of like, okay, week 17, we kind of know who's in the playoffs. This
Yeah.
game, the Chiefs and Broncos can determine who will get, you know, the division seed versus wild card. There's a little bit more importance for that specific
I'm
game.
assuming, yeah, that's a good point. At week 17, Eagles and Bills might both have the division locked down.
Yeah. Yeah.
They may not even be playing their starters in week 17.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with you on that.
And then last week of the season, week 18, we have Dolphins at Patriots, Chargers at Broncos, Browns at Bengals, and Colts at Texans.
Give me Colts Texans best game.
I agree.
I think the rivalry there is great. Of course, the Chargers Broncos one is entertaining too,
Mhm.
but well, also the Browns Bengals because that whole AFC that whole Browns Bengals
Yep.
Ravens
Obviously,
division, that's crazy. They
I'm I'm
all just
I'm
murder
I'm,
each other.
I'm pretty sure week 18 is always entirely divisional games.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
it's all going to be like across the league divisional.
gotcha.
But I don't think the Browns or the Bengals will be competing whatsoever for playoffs at that
Probably
point.
not.
So unless you
Probably not.
enjoy watching those just stink bowls where both teams have like two, this is a battle for who gets the number one pick in next year's draft. You know, loser gets number one pick.
Dang man, you really think that of Cincinnati, huh?
I,
I'm
yeah,
not ready to count them out just yet.
okay.
We'll see.
We'll see for sure. I am ready to count them out if Joe Burrow is going to be out that long, because I don't see them winning more than like 3 or 4 games without him,
Okay.
and he doesn't get
How would
back
your
till week
outlook
16.
change
Uh-huh.
if the Bengals traded for
Go ahead, name whoever, because there's already been some
Jameis?
for Jameis, dude. I'm putting them as undefeated the rest of the season because
No,
I believe in the
realistically.
okay. Realistically,
Realistically.
if they had Jameis, I think they could win maybe 5 to 6 games without him or without
But
Burrow.
not the division.
I don't think they'll win the division. No, no. Because I mean they got to deal with the Steelers, who are 3-1, which is more
It's a
surprising than
Tomlin
I
team.
thought.
They're never going to roll over.
Right, but I mean the last few years they've just been about 500, so I didn't actually count them too highly this year. I thought the Ravens were going to run away with it, and they've just laid an egg. I mean it's mainly because of injuries, but yeah, so be it.
Okay, I'll give you this one. Yeah,
Yeah,
looks good.
yeah. I'm thinking Browns and Bengals is going to be a really crappy game by that point. All
I
right,
feel like we
man.
should go back after we watched all these games at the end of the season and be like, good, bad, good, bad.
Yeah,
See how accurate we were.
yeah. Absolutely. We got to see which ones played out. All right, moving into our next game here. We're going to be drafting players from the 2011 draft class.
Stacked.
Alrighty.
Dang, a lot of these guys we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, both in the terms of like teams goats and things like that.
For sure.
So here, just like our normal drafts, we have a quarterback, a running back, two wide receivers, and one defender. I'll go first here, and I'm going to go ahead and say Cam Newton up top for quarterback. And the main reason I think him, him versus the second best quarterback here is a much bigger gap than any of the other positions.
Ugh, you stole that from me. I was definitely going to take Cam.
Yeah, I feel like he's the number one there.
Okay, well then, let me look here and see. Give me J.J. Watt on defense.
Yeah, yeah,
That's got to be a no-brainer.
yep. That's a solid one. However, I will say there's a lot of phenomenal guys here on the defensive side.
True.
So, um, see, this is where it's tough because I should probably go for a wide receiver because that's the only real area that we compete right now. Well, wide receiver or running back. I'm gonna go wide receiver. I'm gonna take Julio Jones.
Yeah, that was what I was going to do too.
Yep.
And shoot.
I'm.
Give me AJ Green.
Yeah, I feel like that's the top two here.
I didn't
I'd
want you
say.
to have both of them.
Yeah, good. I would have because I absolutely would have taken it. Um, I feel like I'm going to stay here with wide receiver because I feel like that's a much more important piece than the running back. Because I think there's a big drop off between 3 and 4, in my opinion. I'm going to take Randall Cobb here.
Yeah. Oh, you're whooping my butt here, man.
The idea of Cam
This
Newton,
sucks.
the idea of Cam Newton throwing to Julio Jones and Randall Cobb
Oh,
is
that's
disgusting.
scary.
Yeah.
Um, well, shoot. This is making it tough on me.
I think you go running back if you can. I mean, that's the only
Yeah,
area we compete, right now.
yeah. Um, you know what? Give me DeMarco Murray at running back.
Yeah.
After you make your pick, I'll tell you who I was between, unless it's him.
Was it him and Mark Ingram?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say it had to be. Um, yeah, I think those are the two guys here. They had some decent running backs in this draft, I'll say, but as far as Pro Bowl level, these were the only two guys. So remaining, you have a quarterback and wide receiver, and then I just have my defender.
Okay. Man, I don't like this. Is it your turn again?
No, it's your turn.
Oh. I can wait on quarterback.
You can wait on all of them. I have my quarterbacks and wide receivers locked up.
True. Um, this is tough. I'm gonna filter on only wide receivers here and see who stands out.
I can give you some hints here that some of the ones that I see still standing.
Oh no,
Uh,
I got it.
who are you taking?
Torrey Smith,
Torrey Smith. Nice. Okay. Yeah. He was one of the ones that I had here.
for sure.
Now that wide receivers are completely gone and off the board. Um, yeah, Torrey Smith, Cecil Shorts. That might be all I have actually.
I think the Shorts is great, man.
Yeah, Cecil Shorts. I disliked him when he was playing against the Texans all the time when he played for the Jaguars. So, but no, I think Torrey Smith was a good pick there. It was that's what I was saying, right? It was like there's Julio, who I don't know. Would you say Julio and AJ are about neck and neck, or is Julio that much better?
Julio's better than AJ Green.
Yeah, it's like Julio, AJ Green, Cobb, and then everybody else in this
Yeah,
wide receiver class.
but Torrey Smith was not too shabby.
No, he's good too. Cecil Shorts was as well. Like none of these guys were terrible. They wouldn't be in the draft if they were, right? Defense. So this is the part where I'm like, okay, do I go?
Dude, there's so many good defenders here.
Yeah.
So many good defenders.
So I am gonna go with, because it's what this whole show
Patrick
is
Peterson.
about. Yeah, high pointing the ball. That's how I thought up this podcast name. Patrick Peterson is kind of one of those guys that I really enjoyed watching playing, and yeah, I mean that's him. That's him for me. Other notable ones, I didn't take Von Miller. Probably should have taken Von Miller here, but I was like, Patrick Peterson, I appreciate more.
I don't fault you there.
Uh, from
Also
the
notable Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan,
Cameron Jordan.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Cam Hayward, Richard Sherman,
Hayward.
Justin Houston, Alden Smith. Now that we all have our defense players
Jarrell
out of the way.
Casey.
Jarrell
Robert
Casey.
Quinn.
Yep. You still got a quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm between.
I'm assuming Dalton and Kaepernick.
Well, there's also a Tyrod Taylor.
Would you really, if you were pressed, take Tyrod Taylor over
No, give me
Kaepernick?
Andy Dalton for the AJ Green connection.
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. See, you got that. You at least already have some chemistry going. I didn't even think about that.
But no, I think your team clears here.
Yeah. Okay. So running it back for audio listeners, for me at quarterback I have Cam Newton. Running back I have Mark Ingram. Wide receivers I have Julio Jones and Randall Cobb, and on defense I have Patrick Peterson. Jacob, you want to run through yours?
Yeah, I've got quarterback Andy Dalton, running back DeMarco Murray, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receivers AJ Green and Torrey Smith, and then G.O.A.T on defense.
You have me on defense for sure.
Well, I think J.J. Watt may be one of the few people that would have contended with prime Cam Newton. So,
Yeah. Let us know in the comments who you think won this draft.
You.
Okay, so this is a fun one. This will be we can try to rapid fire them. We are going to go through some active players and tier list them on their Hall of Fame probability. So,
All right. We got
for context, I went into the ProFootballReference.com. I think that's what it's called. They have a Hall of Fame probability indicator, or watcher or something like that. It has some special name to it. And I just picked out some names that I thought were like kind of tiptoeing that line of Hall of Fame. And I made sure they were all active players. And we can run through them and see where they go. I would say that realistically, S, A, and B make the Hall of Fame. S is like, yeah, they're going to make it. It's not even close. A is like, they'll make it, but...
first ballot.
Yeah.
B is second ballot. C is probably not.
Yeah. And then it kind of falls off from there.
Okay.
First up, we have Patrick Mahomes.
S.
I agree. Depending on how the rest of his career plays out, we might be calling him the GOAT instead of Tom Brady. But you never know. But he's been phenomenal. Russell Wilson.
Ugh. B? A?
No, I would not go higher than B. I think you're right on with B. One of my things there is, I think I heard somebody on one of the broadcasts say it might have been Richard Sherman actually, which is kind of damning. I think he said something to the effect of Russell Wilson's the only player to ever play himself out of the Hall of Fame. And man, it is so true. His last years in Seattle, then bouncing around to three different teams that all went kind of miserably, is not a good look for your entire body of work.
Listen, I'm the biggest Russell Wilson hater there is, but you're talking about something Richard Sherman said.
Hey,
Okay. Don't rose colored glasses his history because he was an absolute bonehead and he is not the sharpest tool in the box. Like
I feel like we have to have a segment or a specific pod dedicated to players that we like one of us hates
we're
and one of us
divisive
likes.
on.
Yeah, because I feel like Richard
Okay.
Sherman's one. I love Richard Sherman, man.
Let's do it. Let's do a
Um,
versus.
yeah, yeah, and we could just full on. That'll be our angriest episode that we do.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Josh Allen.
B
B,
remains to be seen here. I don't
sure.
know.
I think at the end of his career, it'll be more closer to A. I'm hoping that he like wins one, but yeah, I guess if we're really trying to put some sort of rules around this, I guess maybe A and up at the very least, you have to have a ring.
I don't know about that necessarily.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
got an MVP, so
Yeah.
it's not like he doesn't have anything. He's got awards.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think B for now, just because I don't know. If he putters out and doesn't do anything for the rest of his career, he's not making the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. That would be a shame too, because he has so
Yeah.
much. And also another one of those guys that just great personality too. Like he's funny and he's just really cool. Last quarterback we have up here, Matthew Stafford.
A, Super Bowl winner,
Yeah.
long
A
career.
fantastic stats wise his entire career. He's got the accolades to back it up. I think A is fine.
Yeah.
Moving into wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, probably probably one of the more younger candidates that I have on this entire list.
Yeah, I feel like we got to put him in like B right now because although I consider him the best wide receiver in the league,
hmm
I don't know that he's got the resume yet for Hall of Fame. So he's going to have to do some more.
So it's funny you say that. I think the fact that he's young is the only thing working against him. I think he does have the resume already. It just stats by year, I should say. If you have the same stats that he has now and carry those out for the next 3 or 4 years minimum, I think he's borderline Hall of Fame. So I think B makes sense.
Okay.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Oof, that's tough, man.
As much as I love him, I think this one's a C. I think that's our first C.
Yeah, I don't. Hall of very good.
Hall of very good.
Yeah.
If anything, if we need to add some context around that one, I think obviously never won anything. Still hasn't. He could have last year because he was technically with the Chiefs. And
Did
then
he?
obviously, huh? No, they
Did he
lost.
technically win?
No. He was with the Chiefs and they lost the Super Bowl.
Oh,
But I'm
right,
saying
yeah.
if they won, then he would technically have a ring. I don't know if that changes this discussion much because it's not like he's not in his prime when he's winning that ring. He's kind of washed at that point. Not washed. Hopkins is still very good, I should say. He is one of my
Very, very
favorite
good.
players of all time, right?
Not Hall of Fame, I don't think.
I don't think so either. Tyreek Hill.
He's got multiple Super Bowls, doesn't he?
Did he leave after they won their first one?
That may be right. Let me see here.
Yeah, do me a little fact check while you're doing that. Uh, I thought he only had one, but I could be wrong. If he has multiple, then
You're
I think
right. He only has one.
okay. You think B?
Then I think it's B. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, I put him in C. I don't think he's got the resume and his career may very well be over with that latest injury.
Yeah, that would be a bummer
I
for
don't think he
sure.
makes it.
Mike Evans.
B.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I make the case for A?
No, you don't have to. Put him in A. I was between A and B. I was being conservative there,
Yeah,
so
For
You don't
me,
have to make a case. The dude is the model of consistency.
yep. And he has a ring. He has a ring with Brady.
He
So,
does. He
um,
does.
I think that being that consistent for so long, plus having the
Yeah,
ring, that does it for me.
I
Derrick
agree.
Henry. Oh, we're getting into running backs, by the way. Derrick Henry.
Ugh.
That one's tough, right? Because it's like he has all
See,
the Wow. Okay. Yeah, God, that's probably right. I'm just mad about it.
I am too.
Because it's like he has all the accolades to be a Hall of Famer, except for the fact that he hasn't really done anything in the playoffs anywhere he's went.
Yeah,
But if we're just talking stats, like yeah, he's a Pro Bowler every year, right? He's a rushing
for
leader
sure.
every year. He's got you know Hall of Fame for fantasy. Next up, Christian McCaffrey.
You want to talk about a fantasy Hall of Famer, Christian McCaffrey, dude?
Yep, I
I
think it's
don't know, man. This is tough too, but I think I put him at B.
interesting. I was actually going to make the case that he might be our first D, but I guess they have been to a few. They've been to what, two Super
He's
Bowls?
he's been in at least one Super Bowl. He's had several seasons with the Panthers where he was just dominant,
Yeah,
stat wise. I mean, all purpose yards, just crazy. Um, it's it's tough.
B's fine. B's fine. You made the
We
case.
could we could compromise at C.
Yeah, that feels right. Yeah, that's a good idea. Saquon.
Uh, B.
B. I think B makes sense. Because not only, okay, like he doesn't have the stats and longevity as much as Derrick Henry. Or Derrick Henry. But he's got the ring.
Got the ring. Was a
So
pivotal part in getting that ring. Could very well be on his way to getting a second one. Who knows?
he
But yeah, I
backwards,
think
he,
yeah,
he,
and
ba-
he's just got the plays, dude.
yeah, he backwards jumped over a player. I think that alone gets you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the highlights, man. I mean, they're going to be using that along with the OBJ catch for the next decade.
Yeah. Um, Probably here's our first D, or maybe even an
Yeah,
F.
D. D. I
Alvin
love my
Kamara.
boy Alvin Kamara, but unfortunately, being stuck on the Saints has its downfall.
So when I was going through, by the way, like I said, I was using the Pro Football Reference Hall of Fame tracker. I think that and it might just be because of longevity. I think he had technically a higher rating, like a higher probability of getting in than Saquon at this moment. I don't know the exact like formula that they use for it, but I did think that was interesting. But I don't see it like when everything's said and done. I don't see Alvin Kamara getting in over Saquon.
Probably because Saquon has been injured and Kamara has been productive. Although he's been injured too, Kamara has been more productive over their respective careers, I think.
Yeah. Travis Kelsey,
Kelsey, put
S
him in
tier,
A.
A tier.
Yeah, no, put him in S. I guess he's a shoe-in. Yeah, multiple Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, I
We
feel like
talked about it before. Can't name five tight ends better than him, so yeah, he'll get in.
I think so. Um, this is not one of the guys that you would name as better than him, but still a damn good tight end. Last tight end of the bunch, George Kittle,
D.
D.
Yeah,
Interesting. I think he was the second highest rated active tight end. That's not in the
really.
yeah. I think other ones that weren't technically in yet were some that were just like recently retired or just not haven't hit
Yeah,
that mark of being eligible yet.
sure.
But yeah,
Not
Kittle
enough games.
Kittle very good. Multiple Super Bowls has been to multiple Super Bowls.
Right.
But yeah, we are moving into lineman Joe Thuney or Tooney. I don't know if the H is silent.
Um,
I don't know if we want to
I don't
spend
know
too
his
much time on
accolades,
linemen.
but dude's legendary. Um, just for longevity alone, I think we got to put him in B at least.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
think
think?
I think he has. Trying to think of where he's been for the majority of his career.
Niners.
Niners. Okay, so he's kind of in that same ballpark. This makes sense. Being like McCaffrey C, Kittle D. It makes sense to put him there because he's kind of the
I think
biggest
so.
piece of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Trent Williams,
Um, D.
D. That's fair. Next up, we're moving over to defense. We got Chris Jones. So this is another Chief, and I feel like I don't think all the Chiefs are shoo-ins, right? But
Chris Jones is great,
he
man.
is.
Put him in A. I don't think he's good as Kelsey and Mahomes, but he may go down as one of the like a top 20 type player at his position
Yeah, he's not.
potentially.
He's not a shoe-in like the other guys. Well,
Right.
okay, he
Right.
is. He's an A, right? But he's not like, hey, why
I
are we
think A
even?
is like likely to make it.
Yeah, S is like we don't even really have to take a vote. We all just kind of
Right.
unanimously agree.
Agreed.
Cam Hayward.
Um, does Cam Hayward have a Super Bowl ring?
No. No.
No.
Question mark? No.
Shoot.
No, because he was in the 2011 draft class and they won in 2010
Yeah.
or something. Or
Yeah, you're
2009.
right. You're right.
So I would think
I
no.
don't know, man. He's a stat monster though. B?
We'll say B, and then we'll say just a little asterisk for our episode here. If he does have a Super Bowl and we're wrong about that, maybe A.
Maybe A. Yeah.
Cam Jordan. And this is the one we talked about earlier that for sure we talked about. He came after the Saints
After the
won the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
Great player.
Similar situation. Been with the Saints his whole career as well.
I think Hall of very good. C. I think he's a step above Kamara.
That's fair. Calais Campbell.
Whew, man. This guy's tough
He's been around
because
forever.
he's been around for a long time. I don't know what his accolades are. He's been with what, the Cardinals,
Mainly the
Jags.
Cardinals. And then
For
even
longevity alone, I think
came
you got to
back.
put him in B. Consideration, right?
What's crazy for me to think about is he was in the he played in the Cardinals Steelers Super Bowl. That's how long
Wow,
he's been in the league.
that's crazy.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. And he's still
Yeah,
playing. Miles Garrett.
that's another tough one, man. But I think he's good enough to make it. I say A.
I think so too. I think he as soon as actually not even as soon as he got into well, yeah, no. The entire time he's been in the league, he has been the best defensive end, right? I don't think I could name. You think there's somebody better, really? I like
Parsons.
no. I still think
Parsons
he's
is maybe the only one that's debatable right now. But I would, yeah. I mean, he's been the best consistent edge. I'll give you that.
yeah, yeah. Khalil Mack. I think he's a D.
Yeah, I give him B. I give it B.
Oh no, I said D. I actually don't
What's
think
that?
he's. I said D.
Oh, D.
Yeah. Has he won anything? Maybe I'm wrong. Has he won anything?
I don't think so. Put him in C.
We'll say C. That feels okay. Von Miller. He has won something.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Shoe
Is
in.
A
Super
or
Bowl champion.
okay.
No, I think he's a shoe in.
Cool. I'm not gonna argue that at all.
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner. Another Super
Also
Bowl.
shoe in.
Yep.
Also shoe in. No doubt.
Yeah. Same situation. He's the longevity, the championship, the stats.
He was the true heart and soul of that
Legion of Boom.
Legion of Boom.
Yep.
For real.
Kind of bringing it up on the weak side over here with some of our defensive backs. Very good. I don't know if they're Hall of Fame worthy. Jalen Ramsey,
D.
D. I think
Had
that's
high
fair.
hopes for him, but I don't know that he's ever going to do anything substantial, unfortunately.
No, I'm right there with you. That makes sense to me. Minka Fitzpatrick.
Also D.
Yeah.
Same situation.
I will say it's impressive that there's no Fs. Um,
Yeah.
oh, this one kind of hurts because it's just weird now. Justin Tucker. Yeah, last two are special teams.
Dude. You want to talk about playing your way out of the Hall of Fame, man.
I mean, okay,
Maybe this guy did it.
how much does the how much
Because the
does
last like season or two he played, he sucked.
that's true. He
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 was
did
bad.
actually like before the scandal. He did actually
Yeah.
not
He
play
was
well.
not good. He went from being the most accurate kicker of all time to he
He
lost
dropped
that, I'm
down to
pretty
like
sure.
third or fourth on the list by
Yeah.
percentage.
Still, he's a top three all time kicker. I think you have to put him in A.
Okay, I'm fine with that. That makes sense. And can we get some love for our punters, Mr. Johnny Hecker?
Oh, okay. Yeah. A tier. I think. He's one of the best punters of all time.
And he's and on that Hall of Fame indicator, obviously a lot of like defenders and a lot of
Skill
special teams
players.
player they don't get a ton of love. It's always
Yeah,
the
they don't.
offensive side of the ball that it's like, oh, their Hall of Fame indicator number is super high,
Yeah.
but if you're looking at it a little bit more well-rounded and realistic, I think this makes sense. I think this is a good list.
I agree.
Yep, and
No Fs.
nobody in F. All solid play.
Yep.
You know what? Here, look, check this out. Boom. Now there's no F. All right. That's
Can we put Najee Harris down there under F?
yeah. There you go. I'll put not. He's not making the Hall of Fame. He's not even close. All right, that will do it for episode 6 of the High Point Podcast. We're gonna jump into our picks, and then we'll go ahead and close out.
Let's do it.
All right. Do you want to go first? I think I went first last time.
Sure. Yeah. So this week I got Rams over Niners. One of those real interesting games we were talking about several times. Hoping it'll be a slugfest, fun game. But I think the Rams are the better team at the moment, so I got them over Niners. And then I got Colts absolutely smothering the Raiders. So that's an easy pick for me.
Nice.
And then I got another interesting one. Eagles over Broncos. I think it will be a tighter game than their schedule, than their records indicate at the moment. I don't think the Eagles are necessarily going to come out with an easy win. I think Broncos are going to put up a good fight, but I do have the Eagles coming out over them. Mm-hmm. And then I've got my upset Commanders over Chargers. I've got the line currently as Chargers 2.5. Mm-hmm. But I think the Commanders actually get it back together and maybe give a semblance of getting back on track this week against like we've talked about, depleted Chargers team.
Nice. I have the Texans beating the Ravens in Baltimore. They're currently a 1.5 point favorite, but I mean, I expect that line to move a little bit. I think Baltimore is dealing with too many injuries right now. Obviously, the biggest being your MVP. After the 0-2 start, I actually have the Chiefs keeping it rolling on the road against the Jaguars on Monday night. Right now, the line is Chiefs by 3.5. I think they keep that going. My easy win here, Bills easy win at home over the Patriots. They are 7.5 point favorite, and I think they blow that number out of the water.
I don't know. I think you might be surprised in that game.
We'll see.
And as a Drake May fanboy, I'm a little disappointed.
I'm more of a Josh Allen fanboy than I am a Drake May
true.
fanboy.
True.
But they're going to be debuting their iced out rivalry uniforms, the white ones with like the beveled Bill logo. But yeah, I think they handle business. They cover the spread by a lot. Okay. My upset, weird one, Tennessee Titans getting their first win on the road over the Cardinals. The Cardinals are currently a 7.5 point favorite. I think the loss last week was embarrassing and demotivating for them. So I think they walked themselves right into this trap game where they're like, okay, we're pumped, we're ready to go, and then the Titans come in and somehow pull out a win. I have that vibe right now, and I think Cam Ward is a little pissed off and
I hope so.
Called his own team ass. I think he's
keep it a buck. We ass.
Yeah.
That's
so
what he said.
I think I'm hoping that got a lot of his team a little heated, as they should. Light a fire under them, and hopefully go out and get their first win of the season. I think this is where it happens.
Okay, we'll see. I got a lot of ground to make up on points, man. You're
Yeah,
killing me.
yeah. I ended up getting. Let's see. You did get one pick, or I'm sorry, 1 point last week with the Rams over the Colts.
So I'm
Um,
at 3.
but I mean, Buccaneers over Eagles was close, right?
Yeah.
And then I had Seahawks over Cardinals last week, which I got. Texans over Titans, which I got. Bears over Raiders, which I got. And then the Cowboys over Packers ended up being a freaking tie. so
Yeah, sorry about that,
yes,
man.
no points there, but man, it was close. I could have brought it in 2 weeks in a row with perfect picks, but so be it. Any given Sunday, right?
Yeah.
That'll do it for episode 6. I am at Rick Hyde Jr. We got Jacob at JDubTines. You can follow us on Instagram and on X at High Point Pod. Drop us any comments, like, share, subscribe, everything that you can do. Again, trying to build more of that organic growth. Love hearing from some of the people that have reached out, just letting us know that they're excited to hear each episode and looking forward to what's coming next. Jacob, anything else you got before we head out?
Send us comments, questions, topics you want to hear about, guys. Please just post something on the YouTube. We'll address it in the next episode. And
Yeah.
enjoy week 5.
Yep. That'll be it. Thanks, everyone. We're out.
Thanks, y'all.